They are not coming. They are already here. The coming extraterrestrial harvest has been in the works for far longer than most people would imagine. It has recurred throughout the existence of humanity. The major difference is that this time we have technology that could make things more difficult for them. To solve this issue, they have had to adapt. Many ufologists believe that a hybridization program has been ongoing for several decades at least. Many abductees have reported medical procedures of a personal nature, and later, being presented with strange-looking silent children they are told are theirs. In the 1950s, there were reports of the Men in Black. The Men in Black would show up to intimidate witnesses to UFOs and their occupants, often described as unusual-looking individuals who seemed confused by the most basic small things. They were often reported to have very large, odd eyes, pale, waxy skin, no eyebrows, and either being bald or wearing cheap, obvious wigs. At least part of their purpose was to not just make people afraid to report or continue to speak about their encounter, was to behave so strangely that people would think the witness was full of baloney. Over time, the descriptions became more normal in appearance, but the odd behavior remained. The number of Men in Black reports went down, but they were replaced with people in normal environments that would behave in similar ways to the old Men in Black. They would be mystified by things like ink pens, jello, and common situations. I believe that these are now sleeper agents, hiding here, laying the groundwork for the coming alien harvest. They are positioning them strategically throughout all levels of human society, learning how to exploit our weaknesses, sowing disinformation, and using our emotions to manipulate us into choosing our own doom. They are heavily involved in the tech world, perhaps to be in place to shut down key defense systems so they can step up the timeline of the harvest. I believe that I encountered one of these infiltrators in person before I became aware of what was going on. I was working as a cashier at a store when a completely unremarkable man came through the line. While he looked perfectly normal, the interaction was so strange it sticks with me even years later. He was an ordinary enough-looking man, nothing at all memorable about his looks, wearing neutral colors. I worked in an area with a lot of recent arrivals in the country. The man stuck out because he had no noticeable accent, not even regional. It was odd. He came to the register with a clearly marked bag of nacho chips, asked in a flat, emotionless, almost artificially, so voice asked, "Is this food? Do people eat this?" It was such an odd way to ask, and his demeanor was so off. Over the next few months, I saw him a few more times. He never spoke to me again. But every time, the only thing he bought was the same brand of nacho chips. I am convinced this man was not human, at least not entirely. Was he a spy for the extraterrestrial threat? If you've had any encounters of a similar nature, let me know.